Welcome to Kayla YouTube channel where great stories are narrated. Let's dip inside to the story. The lifelong virgin man. When people talk about something that smells bad, we usually think of things like rotten fish, spoiled meat, dead animals, or the awful smell in the public bathrooms. And depending on who you are, your reaction may be different. Some may feel disgust, others may feel nothing. But actually, you are all missing the real answer. The worst kind of sting isn't something your nose smells. It's something you carry deep inside. That smell is poverty. Poverty stings to you. It doesn't wash off. It gets into your life, your thoughts, and your confidence. I know, because before I got to where I am now, when someone said what smells bad, I didn't think of garbage or gas. I thought of poverty. Poverty is a kind of stink that doesn't go away with a soap. It's a kind that eats at your soul. Forget the fact that I am 50 years old today. For a long time I was just a young man like anyone else. But unlike many others, I didn't go wild in my youth. I never got drunk in bars. I wasn't the guy posing for pictures on every corner. I didn't chase women on the streets. I didn't even write a love letter. My world was so small. The only close friend I knew, the only real family I had was my father. He took me to the school, he brought me back, and every night he would read me a story he had written himself, straight from his heart. It was about a woman named Marcellus, a woman he once loved so deeply he was ready to give up everything for her. A woman he chose over his mother's and father's warnings. The same woman who, just 2 months after my second birthday, left him for another man. He told me this not with anger, but with care. And as he finished, he looked at me and sighed, "Don't ever throw your life into the shadow of someone who will not stay." That night, I drifted into sleep like floating down a quiet river. By the morning, I had washed up on its shore, with those words carved into me. A woman's is life's greatest distraction. I carried that lesson within me for 30 long years. My father's pain, 30 years of quiet sorrow, was undone in a single ordinary day. I saw a woman, not just any woman, beautiful beyond words. I spotted her inside a supermarket. Her name was Lidya. She was the kind of beauty that made everything else feel small. If she stood next to the world's most admired woman, her presence alone would silence the room. She didn't need to speak. She didn't need to try. She simply was. And in that moment I heard it, my father's old warning, the voice that had guided my life, cracked and collapsed inside me. I felt the fire he once warned me about burning in my own chest. For a woman I barely knew, I abandoned the very principle I had held on to for decades. My father's sacred lesson: never give your life to someone who may disappear into the shadows. I was working as a salesman at a supermarket where she walked in with her friend. Compared to her, they seemed small and unnoticeable. She stood like an elephant among cats. The most surprising part was that I got so distracted by her presence that I lost focus during my audit, and they ended up taking advantage of me. After she started coming to the store more frequently, I decided it was time to tell her how I felt. But where was I supposed to find the courage? When a man lets love through the door of his heart, fear always finds its way out through the window. Without even realizing I had lost control of myself, I stumbled into telling her, awkward, exposed, and completely vulnerable. After some more weeks, I told her my love. one day after taking some beer for courage. Even today, I still remember the awkwardness. I still remember Even today, I still remember the awkwardness I felt the day I confessed my love to her. It plays in my mind like a scene I can't forget. She was about to leave the store with the box of groceries in her hands when I stepped forward with some fake excuse. "Let me help you with that." She hesitated and then followed me out. As she reached the door of the supermarket, I gently grabbed her hand and stopped her. That's when the sky on her face clouded over, like a shadow crossing the sun. She didn't say a word, just looked at me in silence, but in her eyes, I saw it, discomfort, a quiet rejection without a single word. I stood before her, like a statue of liberty, only stripped of freedom. Her silence was like a slap of shame across my face. I will never forget that moment. It's still echoes inside me, engraved in the permanent archive of my heart. "You stink! You have let yourself go. If your body and your clothes are so clean, how can your heart be so filthy?" But the truth is, my body was clean, my clothes were clean. What stunk was my poverty. Women have a special kind of nose. They can smell wells in poverty, like perfume and rot. Her nose didn't winkle at my sweat, but at my struggle. What she rejected wasn't the surface. It was the scent of my condition. My poverty humiliated me more than any dirt ever could. That connection with her became both the first and the last relationship I ever had with a woman. That's it. 20 years passed. Life lifted me like a wave of grace. Wells flowed toward me like rain. And suddenly, women surrounded me, many of them drawn by success, by the shine of my name. When my book was finally published and became a sensation, even that woman, the one who once crushed me, came back in person. She asked for forgiveness. After the way she humiliated me, I made a vow never to be with another woman. Years later, when she approached me to say hello and hug me, I simply gestured for her to stop. She paused, whispered a shaky "sorry," and walked away. In a country like America, where sex is easier to get than almost anything else, I remained single and a virgin. They haven't said anything, but I wonder if, like me, there could be a person who has remained a virgin for 50 years. I considered starting a support group for men over 50 who have remained virgins. I'm going to make it happen. Stay strong. I am coming for you.